Hello, everyone. Hey, guys, it's me, Sia Knight, the college savvy coach, and I am here with a dear friend of mine. And do you want to say what your name is, or you got an alias?
I don't know. I know, but I don't have an alias. That's only for certain people. Hi, I'm Kendra Dodd.
Oh, okay. So she is telling the real name, so we must be very, very special. And I wanted to give her the opportunity to ask me some questions. And I said, hey, what about having the Facebook community also in on this so that they can also benefit from the questions that you have? So, first of all, Kendra Dodd, since you're telling us your real name today. So, Kendra has two children, just three. And so if you guys hear them in the background, two are here, so there's no telling what may actually go on. So we'll see. But I know Kendra has some questions about her children who are going to what grades, Kendra?
I have one entering the 8th grade, and my middle child is entering let me think it through, the 8th grade. No. I have 8th grade, 4th grade.
The 4th grade.
Yes,
okay.
The 4th grade, yes.
Okay. So Kendra knows from being good friends with the college savvy coach to not wait until the last minute. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us do. And she has some questions for her children about how to prepare for the college process. And I said, let's invite these Facebook folks here because, they may have questions too. So, Kendra Dodd, what are your questions?
Well, I even think both of my children are in different schools. They're actually in different districts. And so even for my 4th grader, I think about, okay, what will be good for her? So she actually is entering the 4th grade, speaks fluently in Spanish. So I'm like, okay, what are some good, activities? But my 8th grader, now that he's entering the 8th grade, he's 1 year from high school.
Okay.
How early should we start really thinking about niches and what fits for him as far as colleges?
Okay, well, I see here comes your 4th grader and your infant.
I know.
You can go, hey, go ahead, go take care of them, and I'll just talk for a moment to the folks.
Answer that question.
Okay. Well, I am going to answer that question. As we know as moms, there's no telling. There's no free time. There's no time when the kids are around where we can just say, hey, kids, guess what? I want you to just not come in because that's how we roll. But here's Kendra Dodd. Da, 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 da. She's
Here
back.
I am.
Okay, so her question was, for those of you just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you joining us, Kendra just asked a question. She's got a rising 4th grader and rising 8th grader. When is it too early to start prepping for college? And my answer is this. Never. But let me say this. For the 4th grader, and in fact, I wrote an article on my blog about this. You should check it out, Kendra. It says, and it was from 2013, but it's still relevant. And it says 13 things to do in 2013 to get your child ready for college. So I break it down from kindergarten through 12th grade, some of the things you should do. Now, I'm not saying that your kindergartner should take the SAT. That's not what it is. But it's kind of, how can you along the way start to groom your children to think about and to know that college is something that they're preparing for. So that's one thing. Another thing is for the rising 8th grader, I would say make sure that, is it too early? No. Because what your 8th grader is going to take, some of those courses can count for high school credits. And what some people don't know and don't realize is that if you have a child that takes that Spanish and also that math in middle school, does okay, gets C's in those classes, your child is starting high school with the 2.0 and will always have to try to catch up. No matter if he's done a great job in 9th, 10th, and 11th, that 2.0 can weigh on him like an anchor. So just be very careful about what kind of classes he'll take in the 8th grade. And I know that it could really have ramifications for him as he goes through high school. But I'd say 7th grade, 6th and 7th grade. That's when I really start to talk to families about what classes to take and things like that.
Okay, so to add to that,
Okay.
the classes were set up already for him for the semester for next year already.
Right.
So for the question that I had was his extracurricular. Is that looked at? Should it be more strategic of, oh, I want to do this instead? I mean, he's in, the band, but what should I do as far as choosing even extracurricular? Because it seemed like a more low-hanging fruit extracurricular.
Right. So that's a good question because people often ask me, and again, by the time they come to talk to me, people aren't as proactive as you are when it comes to getting your children ready. And sometimes I work with folks whose children are going into 12th grade, and they're like, hey, how about my daughter join these 12 clubs? Will that help? And the answer is no. Colleges see right through that. So when you're talking about being strategic, and also I think it's very important to choose something that your child is interested in and enjoys and will thrive in. Because if you just try to pick out clubs and activities based on what you think will look good, they won't want to stick with it very long. So my rule of thumb is to choose something, maybe 2, maybe 3 things that your child likes, is interested, and will probably stick with throughout high school. Because what colleges like to see is they like to see that you have chosen something, you've stuck with it, maybe add some responsibility along the way. Okay. Those are the types of things that colleges really dig. Okay. Hey, Sansaray and I went to elementary school together.
Really?
Yes. Way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, and that's something.
That is something.
So, what else?
Okay, so I have that. Now, we're talking about school.
Yes.
Right? And the importance of the curriculum, completely understand that. What should be done outside of school?
Okay, that's a good question. So first of all, as we are approaching summer, now I know some school districts are already out for the summer. Great. My kids will be getting out soon. And here's the thing I tell parents about choosing summer activities. Don't choose a summer activity just because you think it will get your child into college. Now, if there's an activity that he enjoys and he wants to go and you have the resources to send him, that's fine. But colleges and universities, they understand which activities are really prestigious and which ones are the pay to play. So the ones that come to you in the mail, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay. The pay to play. So when you had a nice little envelope in your mailbox and it has a nice raised seal and it's shiny and it looks like it came from the president himself and you're like, oh goodness, and you open it up and say, your son has been chosen for this activity, and then you find out it's only $5,000. So if that's the way you want to roll, then that's fine. But don't put a second mortgage out on your house and say, oh my goodness, we can sell some stocks and bonds because this will get my son into college. No, don't do that. So that's one thing about activities. And another thing about activities is that they become very important when it comes to scholarships, especially. So I think that community service piece is very important to keep in mind, even when he's in 7th, 8th, 9th grade.
Okay. So make sure to keep in mind with the community service. Now, kind of to add to...
Oh, there's Tanya. Hey, Tanya.
Tanya's here. Oh,
now, Tanya and I went to college together.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No. Uh-oh.
No. That's okay. I was very square. No stories here.
Savvy coach, of course.
Yes, thank you. See, she gave me a thumbs up. Very good. So, okay. Now, what was your next question?
Well, the next question is, okay, the school is important. How to set that up? Okay, for 8th grade. how do I know? Everyone's talking about the right high school. Oh, this high school is a national high school. This high school is much better, especially from the region and the area that I've come from. Does it really matter where they go to high school?
So that's a very interesting question because I have a son who's about the same age as your son, and we're starting to think about, okay, what high school should he go to? My son wants to go to the Science and Technology High School that's nationally known,
Right.
that's really, really well renowned. That's great. He's smart enough to do it, but there's a lot of pressure at that school. And if he goes to that school, he's used to being the smart guy, the guy who does his work and is kind of like the big fish in the little pond. If my son goes to that other school, he will be just like a little goldfish in that huge ocean. So the question is, you have to know your child, your son, and to figure out what would be best for him.
Okay.
Is it, does he mind the competition piece? Does he mind kind of not being the top of the class? Or is that something that will kill his spirit and his soul?
Okay.
So, and I wouldn't recommend it if it does kill his spirit
and
and
the
soul.
soul. Okay. Wouldn't recommend it if it killed the spirit and the soul.
Correct.
So to add to that, okay, the questions and the things that you're saying has been helpful of individualizing of who your child is.
Yes.
What should be done.
Yes.
For them that's best. Then how then you start deciding on the actual colleges? I mean, there's state schools, there's private schools, there's Christian schools, there's, I don't know, there's all different types of colleges, really.
Well, here's what I would suggest. He's going into the 8th.
Yes.
Okay, start now talking about colleges, looking at colleges online. Now, let me tell you, stereotypically, boys, what they know about colleges is what they know about sports. Okay? So if your son's like, oh, I want to go to Duke. I love Duke. Or I want to go to Davidson because that's where Stephon Curry went. You're like, okay, well, let's look this up. What does it take to get into Duke? What does it take to get into Davidson? Those are the seeds that you start to plant at this stage of the game. Also, try to figure out whether or not he has a major in mind or kind of what he wants to do when he grows up. Because if he says it's underwater basket weaving, there's Janice. Hi, Janice.
Hi, Janice.
Then you have to choose a school that specializes in underwater basket weaving. If he says psychology, it becomes less less important that you find the exact right school that has that, because most schools who are liberal arts schools have that. So at this point, it's about exploration. It's about knowing what the requirements are, because I think people wait way too late to find out what the requirements are. And when they do, they're unpleasantly surprised because they've waited until junior or senior year. And they're saying, oh, snap. I guess UVA is not in the cards for me.
And what if college, maybe it's a low-hanging fruit of, okay, I want my child to go to college.
Okay.
Right? So you have that. Let's just start with college.
Okay.
How do you determine, let's say it's a financial issue, which schools, one, would be better financially for people?
Right.
And then two, trying to figure out, so financial would be good, but also, I know you said go around for the fit. Where would you find the most money? So one, how, ones that are a little bit better from a financial standpoint, but two, where can you find the money?
Okay, so I'll just give you a rule of thumb. Okay. Looking for a college is like looking for a date. Okay. So let's say that you are, and we're going to use you because you're so gorgeous. So you're looking around, you're looking for a date. Now, if you have a guy who is not the most attractive, he's all right, okay? He's going to try to court you. He's going to try to woo you. He's going to have the flowers, he's going to have the candy, he's going to have everything, the Ruth Chris, he's going to take you out to dinner. Now, Mr. Fine, he'll take you out, but, he may not be doing all that. That's all right. Let's kick it. Let's go. Okay, so what you have to think about when it comes to looking for money, sometimes if you want to go to, like, if your child can get into Harvard, that's great. If your child can get into one of the Ivies, that's great. But they may not be able to get money.
Okay.
If you take a step down, still a prestigious school, still a school that's fine, but not quite at the Ivy League level, you might be more attractive to that school. Because if they know that, again, Kendra got into Harvard, but she's willing to come here to Virginia Tech. She wants to be an engineer. Does Harvard have engineering? I don't know. But, there's Monique Robinson. See, these are all of my peeps.
Oh, good.
Here. Hi, guys. So, Monique has a high school. I think her son's going to be a senior this year.
Okay.
So, yes, lots of questions, I'm sure. So, that's kind of one way to take a look at it.
Okay.
It's not just the school that, like, the most prestigious, quote unquote, school, the name brand school that your child can get into, but also think about kind of the school that's going to want him or her, because they may be shelling out some more cash, making it rain.
Okay.
To make it rain, Tubbies.
Make it rain. That's a good perspective. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was a very, very good perspective and helpful.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do.
What? I know. She's good, guys.
Okay.
She's good. So, how can you get it right? Like, okay, we know the importance of college.
Right.
Okay, I'm talking about an 8th grader, but then you have someone like Monique, right? I have a senior, and you're thinking through, and it's amazing. All these friends saying, oh, we're doing our college tours, like in 11th grade. How do you get the mindset? Like, when should we stress and when shouldn't we stress?
Okay, here's what you need. You need help.
Okay.
You need help.
You need her.
Yes. You
her.
need help, because what's going to happen, and what typically happens, and I've been doing education for 20 years, so I've been around 2 or 3 blocks, so to speak, in education. So what happens is that we as parents, we kind of, especially as our children get to be older and older, we tend to step back. Oh, he's older now. He should know. He should be able to do this on his own. The ball's in your court, buddy. And then you figure out he hasn't done doo-doo squish. What in the world? And then you're scrambling, and then you're stressed. So the most important thing to do is to make sure that you are trying to plan out in a nice, systematic, comprehensive way, so that everyone's not stressed. And in Christmas time of your child's senior year, instead of going to a family dinner, they're on the computer trying to finish up the application because it's due next week. So those are the types of things that I would say. Make sure you plan out and get help. Now, your school counselor, I used to be a school counselor. I love school counselors, but school counselors, honestly, are stressed and stretched to the max. Okay. In California, the ratio is 500 students to 1 counselor. Okay. So how much time, energy, and effort is that counselor going to be able to give your child? Right? And again, for some kids, that's fine. But, sometimes our children, you know what I mean, need a little bit more encouragement, a little bit more coaching. Okay? So that's what I do. I help the parents. I coach the parents on how to help encourage their child through this process. Because we don't want any screaming, any yelling, any loss of sleep, none of that. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Get some help. Because we as moms, continue. Especially, I'm a single mom. I know you're not, but a single moms, sometimes we have the attitude that, I got this. I know how to do this. I'm independent. I've got all of this going on, all of that going on.
Right.
I went to college. Hey, Ashley. Hi.
Hi,
A lot of my
Ashley.
peeps are coming on.
This is nice.
Yes, don't you
This is
love?
nice.
Don't you love the Facebook Live?
Yes.
So a lot of single moms, especially, really and truly take on everything. They take on the world, and sometimes some married moms as well take on the world,
Right.
and you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to. You have to get help when it comes to determining the college fit, when it comes to figuring out extracurriculars, when it comes time for that sort of stuff, then come see me. Now, Ashley Hill, who is here, she also, hey, Rhonda, yay! I'm sorry. Some more of my peeps.
That's
She
good.
was like, do you know everybody on the Facebook?
You know, that's a good thing.
Yes, I do.
That's
Yes.
a very good thing.
So,
Very, very good thing.
Ashley Hill, who is on the call as well, is on this Facebook Live.
Okay.
She's a scholarship coach. So that, yes, Lord, she's the best in the business. So she focuses
Okay.
on finding scholarships for students. And that's her lane. That's her specialty. So you need to find out who the people are who can help you, who
Okay.
understand young people, who understand the school system. And as you know, I've been a teacher, I've been a school counselor, an assistant principal, so I'm central. I know schools. And sometimes folks who have gotten into the line of work with helping students for college, they know a lot because they'll say, oh, there's Shanae. Hey, Shanae.
You know, I can't see. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hi,
Shanae.
Shanae.
I taught with her. And then when I first started teaching, sorry. Wait a minute. Back in the day. Back in 1804. So you need people who can help you and your child get to where you need to go. Now, for instance, let me tell you, if you're relying on the information that you had when you went to Longwood in 1989 and you're telling your child that information, things may have changed a little bit. Things have changed.
Okay.
A lot.
Real clear.
So you need someone who knows that kind of that timely and that relevant information so that you're not steering your child in the wrong direction. So that's what I would say. I would say make sure you get some help.
Okay.
Make sure you get some help.
All right.
What other questions do you have, Kendra?
Help from the College Savvy Coach.
Oh,
right?
College Savvy. Hey, you know,
Exactly.
I would say that's a good idea, but
This is some awesome information.
thank you.
Very, very good information. Thank you. Grades.
Okay, what about grades?
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, sometimes people ask the question, they say, is it better for my child to take all regular classes and get A's, or should he or she try to stretch themselves and get maybe B's or C's, right? So here's my rule of thumb. Your child should take the hardest class they can if they can get at least a B in it.
Okay.
At least a B. Now, of course, there are exceptions. Of course, that doesn't happen in every case, but that's kind of my rule of thumb. And here's another thing about classes. Let me tell you this. This burns me up every time. Your student should take math throughout high school. No matter if he finishes math, his requirements, junior year, sophomore year, yes, Lord, he should continue to take math, because what happens in many cases is that the child is saying, I'm done with math, and I don't really like math anyway, so I'm not going to take any more math. So what's going to happen when Skippy gets to college? What are the chances he's going to have to take some type of math?
Gotcha.
So then he has taken a whole year of math off, and now he's rusty, and you're paying for it.
Right.
So that's one thing. And also, the other thing is foreign language. I also encourage students to take foreign language, or world languages as they're called now, throughout high school. Because again, you're trying to distinguish yourself amongst all the other thousands of applicants out there. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you go above and beyond. If you think about like most students have 2 years of a language. Mm-hmm. And then you get to 3 years, the pool gets a little smaller.
Right.
4 years, okay, now you're talking. All right. AP or 5 years, okay, now you're starting to impress the college or university.
Got it.
So,
got it.
There you go.
That was very helpful.
Good. Any other questions? And while you're thinking,
I always have questions.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a couple more.
Right.
And then if anyone on the Facebook Live has any questions, please feel free to type it in and do it just like this. Okay, and I will answer it. Also, while Miss Kendra is thinking about her next question, because she's got plenty of them, I just want to talk about a webinar that I have coming up. Mm-hmm. And the webinar is especially for single moms, and the way that and I'm a single mom, so I can definitely relate how we're going, and how we are trying to help our kids, but sometimes what we do to help our kids ends up kind of backfiring. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that we do that really kind of hurt our kids when it comes to their college success and when it comes to prepping them for top-tier college admission. And that webinar, if you want to join me there, you can go to bit.ly/single-mom-ever webinar. And what I'm going to do, and Kendra's going to talk to you for a few moments, and I'm going to write that down so you can have that information.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, Kendra, go ahead and talk.
What am I going to talk about?
You can talk about what you do.
Oh, what I do. So what I do is I help people fulfill their dreams. Really. Or people that you lost your dreams and they don't know where they are. And it's mostly working women and working moms. People that have, so my company is fulfilledtobe.com. And so I help individuals, and what happens is, if you've ever been in a situation where you had these ideals in your life, like I had mine of how my life is going to be, and I grew up in the Cosby generation, and Family Matters, all these sitcoms that the moms worked and everything seemed perfect. Where they went home and, you'll have the little, like in every episode, Kirk Cameron, and things would go bad and then things would get great again. And you thought still that, they had everything they wanted. And then you live the real life. You have the kids and you have the husband. And then sometimes you don't have the husband, you lose the husband, and you didn't expect that to happen. And then you don't realize, preach, amen, right?
Talk about
what do I do now, because the dreams that I had or what I had in my head isn't reality anymore. Right. And so I help people figure out what you were designed for and what your purpose is. It doesn't change. And it's going to continue to show back up. So I help you think through that of what to do. That's what I do. So fulfillment. And if you always don't feel that comfortableness, I guess, if that's a word, or feeling comfortable, and you feel like it's just not enough, then you're not fulfilling what you were designed to be. Let's just be straight up. And so it's that urgency that you'll continue. So I help mostly working women and young adults that are in that transition of, you get out of high school. So after the people get out of high school, or out of college, not out of high school, out of college, and figuring that out. And one thing about me is I'm real. I'm very real about it, just like Sia's real. So that's why I love her to death. And so that's a little bit about me.
Yes.
Thanks.
And Kendra, let me tell you, she's the one that keeps me in line. When she's like, excuse me, college savvy coach, what's going on? When are you going to get on the live streaming? Facebook, Periscope, you need to send a smoke signal, something. And I'm like, okay. All right, Kendra. So she keeps me in line. And so here I have this wonderful, you can tell this is a professionally done sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is bit.ly/single mom-ever webinar. Or, here's the thing. You on Facebook. You're on Facebook right now. That's why you're watching me. Go to my Facebook page, and you can find out how to get to that webinar from my Facebook page. That's probably the easiest and most straightforward way to go. So, look, oh, okay. Test it out first, though. All right, so this is good. This is why you have your ride or die right here. Because she's going to put it in the chat box. Oh, hi. KB, that's her.
That's me.
So, let me just finish up with a couple of points. To recap, Kendra had some questions about her middle school student and kind of what to do and how to help to navigate him through college, to and through college, right? And oh, Sherry, hi. And so what I did was I answered a few questions for her about kind of how early is too early. Also, she asked the question about grades, how important grades are. She asked the question about, you probably need to do a capital S.
Oh, capital S? Okay.
Okay.
And that's a capital E too?
You're
We're just trying to make it work.
Yeah, we're trying to make it work. So just, so that is the link, but you're going to need capital S, capital M, capital E.
Got it.
And once again, you're on Facebook, just like I heard myself say. So,
Awesome.
Go over to the College Savvy Coach fan page. And first of all, the first thing you do is you go and you like that page. Thank you very much. And the second thing you do is you register for this free webinar. This is a free webinar that I'm offering because I am in the middle of starting a movement for moms. We're going to take away the guilt. We're going to take away the overwhelm. We're going to take away all of this feeling like the whole world's on our shoulders. We're going to take that away. And what we're going to do is we are going to get together as a community. We're going to get together in community. And that's how we're going to get our children through. Okay, and when I say our children, not just Skippy and Joe, I mean collectively our children. Okay, because when children are not helped, when they're not groomed, when they're not, hey Sherry, hi, when they're not encouraged and nurtured, you get crazy things happening. You get kids doing lots and lots of terrible things. So we don't want that to happen. So let's see what else. We have Kendra, who is here. Look for the second link, captions. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Cool beans. Thank you so much, KD.
Absolutely.
So, are there any questions before we wrap up? Thanks so much, guys, for sticking with me through this Facebook Live. And I hear a baby.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I do have, some people are there. I do have one last question. And you said, I think if you were here of the working mom period.
Yes,
and
Lord.
what you have to go through and the guilt that you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
There are times that you feel like, will I make it? It's completely so like, never would have made it, but like, will I make it?
Yes.
Going through it.
Remixed.
Right, it's the remix, right?
Right.
Is the Kendra and Sia remix. But
that's right.
Is there ever a time where a mom, that you would be in a situation where you would tell a mom, you know what, maybe you should do plan B?
Plan B as in what?
Don't, you know what, I want my baby to go to college. This is what I want to do.
Oh.
But then you're like, you know what, maybe you need to give up that dream.
Okay, I don't like that language.
I know.
But.
Right. But I'm just talking the reality of
right.
Some people think, well, maybe we should do this. Or here's another one.
Okay.
Is it bad to start out in junior college first?
No, it is not bad. Here's what I tell students. Oh, hey, Joy. Hello.
Hi, Joy.
So it's not bad. to start off in junior college, or we call it community college in my neck of the woods. Here's what I tell people. You have to have a plan. Just have a plan. If your plan is that your child will go to community college for 2 years, I'm in Virginia. And Virginia, we have articulation agreements with, our community college has articulation agreements with all of our state schools and universities. So if you go there, you complete your associate's degree and you get X GPA, you're automatically admitted to, like UVA, Old Dominion, Virginia Tech, all of these great state schools. Right. James Madison, I can't leave it out. JMU. Yeah. So, hey Shelby, cousins on the line.
Look what Joy said. Did you see what Joy said?
Yes, great content. Thank you so much, Joy. Yay. Thanks. So, yes. So sometimes community college is the best route. Sometimes it's because of financial reasons. Sometimes it's because your child is just not academically ready. And I think it's good to know that in terms of you're not wanting to send your child away and you're spending thousands of dollars for them to flunk out of school first semester. Okay, that's not hot. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take a real honest assessment of whether or not Skippy is ready to move on. And sometimes Skippy is just too immature. And you're like, boy, you can't even get from here to the store without getting lost. I'm not going to put you on anyone's campus.
Let's work on making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich first.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. So, yeah, there's no shame in that. But I do know where I live in this area, there's a whole lot of competition. There's a lot of comparison, all of that. And you have to make sure, parents, that you're doing the right things for you and your family. Yep. Okay? So you have to sometimes screen out all of that comparison fatigue. I call it poolside parenting. People at the pool talking about what's happening. Now that's different than people coming together as a community and helping each other. That's one thing. The other one is gossip by people who typically don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
So, community college, I think, is a viable option. I'm the college savvy coach. Gotcha. I understand that. But sometimes, as long as you have a plan, then I'm cool with that. Okay.
And that's what you do. You help with the plan, right?
I do help with the plan.
Okay, got it.
Yes, because, do you need one more thing to do?
No, I don't have it. That's what I have you for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
that's part of what I believe in, right? That's part. Ooh, Sherry, you have a question, but no, that's one of the things that I definitely believe in. That's one of my articles that you'll see on LinkedIn soon, talking about help.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. 911 and help, and it's not a 4-letter word.
Yes.
Working moms don't like to use it, and they think it's a 4-letter word.
That's right.
You need to get help.
Talk about it.
What?
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Sherry has a question. Should she have her child volunteer now? She's going to 9th grade. Okay. She wants to volunteer in pet stores, and she wants to be a veterinarian. And my answer is yes. Why not? Why not? If they allow, based on the store policies and procedures, if they allow her to volunteer, sure. I think that's a great idea. It's not too early. You can't say, oh, no, it's too early for her to volunteer. No. And you know what it could also do, Sherry? It can either solidify whether or not she really wants to work with animals, or it can kind of guide her in a different direction. She might say, oh, you know what? Animals poop. I don't like that. Okay. So, yes, a lot of other things. So yes, I think that's a great idea. So, all right, guys. I think we have been on for quite some time. I can't even see. They don't show you here on the screen how long we've been on.
I've had fun, though.
Oh, yeah, this was great.
No, this is great. I'm going to have to fly in just like once a month to figure something out.
She lives many states away, and I don't get to see her that often. But when we do get together, it's great fun and very educational as well. So
always.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Great lady. This is my partner as well, and knowledgeable. And I think sometimes you feel like you're overwhelmed and you don't know what to do. Sometimes, remember I said, I talked about I'm going to be writing an article on help and working women. on my LinkedIn articles that I'm starting. Well, I've already started. The first one is Working Moms Aren't Human.
Oh.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
But with Sia is that people have all of these ideas that just aren't realistic, and they're not listening to you because they have this canned speech of what they think you should do. Sia makes it real of, this is the questions I have and this is what I need. And hopefully you saw that. That's the main thing I think that's great about her, is that I was asking questions I want and she was answering my questions. Have you ever been to somewhere and asked for help and you're like, that's not what I need? Sia gives you. And then sometimes the questions she not sure what you should be asking, you're not sure. She knows enough because of the knowledge to get you to that path of like what you're really asking and what I think and what your concerns are and the intent, and then she'll work from there. So
Right.
I love that about you.
Well, thanks. I'm going to put you on a testimonial page.
Amen.
So we got to go because we got a testimonial to to tape. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And if you found some value in this content, make sure you've liked my Facebook page. Make sure that you can go to my Facebook page and hit sign up.
Right.
And then you can get onto my mailing list. And that's another way to get in contact with me. Also, I'll have a webinar coming up.
Yep.
And you can go to my Facebook page and find out more information about that as well. So I think that's it for tonight, Kendra. Is that it?
I think that's it. You mentioned your webinar. It's in there. I think that's good. Don't sleep. Don't wait. What I mean, by sleep, don't sleep. Don't wait till the last minute. We're talking 8th graders. I mean, the biggest learn for me tonight was the fact that I need to go back and look at my son's curriculum and her schedule, and because here I forgot what his extracurricular, and I didn't really. I'm like, they know what they're doing. So 8th grade, you need to. I'm on it. When I get back on the plane, I'm back on it. Like, let me look at your classes. We need to do some rearranging and some scheduling.
And he's going to say, who in the world were you talking to, Mom? And you're like, don't worry about it.
Exactly.
College savvy coach.
Exactly.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's good. Thank you. That was the big aha for me of 8th grade. It does. I mean, it starts, like you said, your article back in, 2013 you said?
Yes.
Yeah, 2013 for kindergarten now. But for me and my to-do list is to look at his curriculum.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time,